Well, hello.
Hello. Good evening, everybody.
Thank you for the birthday, Jim, and I saw, or happy birthday, Jim, and happy birthday, Earl. I saw that. Thank you. I'm smoking the last puff of my last cigarette for now. I don't have any more. I'm trying to quit. Thanks, Lee. I saw a thing popped up big on the screen.
I've been in the studio about 45 minutes getting everything ready, and I figured I'd throw that in there for you.
We almost had major catastrophe. We couldn't get our Dropbox synced up to where I could see the file to put my information in there from the giveaway, but Lee took care of it for us, so we're good to go. We are good to go with the giveaway. Scott Derrick sent me a message today. Oh, man. Oh, crap. He sent me a message like literally like 3 minutes ago. After I sent him one at 2:24 this afternoon. It's pretty exciting. So it says, give me a call when you have a moment. I want to talk to you about upcoming shows and working together with you. All righty then. There you go. All right. Good job. Awesome. They're following up. And so you guys can't see it on the camera, but I got zapped right here. Well, maybe you can. This big shiny dome on my head. It swelled up like a knot on my head. Little booger got me today.
You just back talked the old lady, didn't you? She got the frying pan out.
She hit me with the frying pan on my birthday. Oh, a gift? Here's your gift. Pow. Now, I went out and drilled all those holes in those migratory covers and put some, thanks, Sharon. I put the pint jars on top of it. A little bit bigger than the 2 frames, right? Twice as much. Twice as much for a 5 frame as for a 2 frame. And they're doing pretty good, but I had to do them one at a time, right? I did one I had sitting around, took it out, put it on, grabbed that one off, drilled a hole in it, put it on the next colony, and so on, went all the way through. If you're in trouble, blink 3 times real fast. I'm hanging out with you guys, so hold on. I can't blink fast enough. I'm in trouble when I start talking with you guys. She told it. And I went and bought sugar today. Walmart didn't have any. Well, they had one 25-pound bag, and it had a hole in it, so I had to put it back. But I ended up just buying 8 10-pound bags, and it was $5 $5 and some change, like $5.60 for a 10-pound bag.
Hey. I think I got 3 or 4 25-pound bags left, but I'm about to stock up on some more for the summer dearth just to make sure.
Well, I think
if everything goes bad with the economy, I got sugar ready.
The gas to go get the sugar triples the price on it. You might want to have them deliver that.
Yeah, it might be 8.5, 9 miles to my neighborhood Walmart.
It's about the same as mine. You got the neighborhood store one, or you just? Okay.
Well, we got a neighborhood store one about 8 or 9 miles, and then we got a big Walmart probably about 10 miles. And well, actually, I got 3 big Walmarts within 10 miles of me, in three different directions.
Well, I don't know if y'all all saw it, but I put out that Beaking Bad shirt.
I hadn't seen it yet.
And the Beaking Bag mug.
While you pulling that up, I was going to tell Miss Rhonda, happy late birthday also. Her birthday was yesterday.
$5.25 a gallon over there. All right, so William asked, was there a long sleeve version? So I put one on the back. It says "Be Addicted," and on the front it says "Beaking Bad" with the little beekeeper checking a honey frame. I might be able to make that bigger, but this was. We'll check this one out. So it's a hot cold mug.
No, that's cool.
So it's got a nice little demo there on the store. Be Addicted. There you go. The other one was the it says this. Now, when I set this up, I actually had multiple colors of this shirt. However, for some reason when you like it says additional styles, I even had all the styles and everything under there, but it doesn't show the colors and all that. So I bought one of the long sleeve shirts because I figured it'd be good to be out there beekeeping in light color, just wear a veil. What size is that coffee cup? I think it's just a regular coffee cup. I think it's just a regular mug, regular coffee cup size, like 12 ounce, 10, 12 ounce, 11 ounce, whatever it is. But at any rate, I thought you guys would like to see that. Again, just stuff I do. You guys don't feel obligated to purchase anything, but if you so choose to, I will drop the store link and you can go there and look. Let me see. There's the link coming up. So we got all that bill paying stuff out of the way here. Let me stop that, remove that. So tonight is the last night for the giveaway on the prize pack. Lee's got some new tricks he's doing with this StreamYard, so we'll see how it works out. You got the StreamYard thing?
Which one you want?
Well, you know how you said you had the transition and it'll pop on the screen and
for the one we've been doing?
Yeah. Oh, well, there you go. Wow, I don't even show the background anymore. All right, so that's what tonight's giveaway is. Tonight's giveaway, a wood pulp swarm trap, 2 ounces of Swarm Commander, 16 ounces of Honeybee Gone, and 16 ounces of feeding supplement. Last one of those prize packs. Then next week, we're starting with the Saracel feeders, top high feeders. So it'll be interesting to see. Now the top high feeders. When I talked to Scott last week, he says he's actually waiting on the truck to come in. So where they had this stuff that we've been giving away in stock and they've been shipping it out right away, not sure on the time for delivery on the Carousel feeders, but we will get that figured out. We will get it figured out and for sure keep it rolling. So
let me double check. According to his website, the 5-frame feeders and the 8-frame are in stock.
Okay,
He's
so
waiting on the 10-frame.
Waiting on 10 framers. And let me see. Trying to keep up. Y'all comment so much, man. It's hard to keep up with everything. So, Lee, what's your plans for your bee yard? What you got happening?
Go check this weekend, see how our flow is still going, and I'm hoping to be able to get one more set of supers put on. Now, I've done a little video the other day and posted. At the end of the video, it shows my number 1 hive. I got 4 supers on it. I said one more, and that'll give me 5, and that'll match last year. Now, after I did that video, I realized that's the hive I've already pulled 2 supers off of.
So really, you're already ahead then.
So I'm already at 6 supers on that 1 hive for this year.
Nice.
So if everything goes good, maybe it'll be 7 whenever I go out there this weekend to add.
Oh, 2 chats. Yeah. Yes, there's 2 chats. It depends what channel you're on. Depends what channel you're on. And I can tell who's on where. Actually, it's pretty evenly split right now. I've got 18 on my side, and Lee's got 17 on his side, or 16. And actually, I'm one of my 18, so we really have 17 and 17.
Yeah.
Which is kind of weird that we're split down the middle like that. So half of you are not talking to the other half, although we can see all the comments. It doesn't matter where you're at.
Yeah, as long as you put a comment in there, we can bring it up on screen from whichever channel.
And you know what? It's already hit, Lee. I finished that cigarette, and I've been looking around for cigarettes on my desk. I've been looking around for cigarettes on my desk, and I'm like, I don't have any more. That's why I've been fidgeting and putting stuff in the trash can.
That's why I told you I quit smoking almost 4 years. September will make 4 years. I still got a pack of cigarettes on the side of my lunch bag for work that has 3 cigarettes in it.
They say
mental, so that I know, hey, I'm not out of cigarettes, but if I actually get that craving and grab one of them, I'm going to regret it.
Hey, that's funny. They said, but they can't. I'm surprised StreamYard doesn't merge the stuff in and show it on the screen. Like
that would be nice.
I bet you it does. I bet you it has a feature, because I know when I used to use another streaming software that is much like this, it would put them all together, and it would be a box on the screen, right, where they would see the comments scrolling on the screen.
Well, I know StreamYard said they're working on some updates and more features, so hopefully it won't be long. They'll have that in there.
Well, that'll be cool. Well, today, I mean, that's literally didn't do too much. I mean, it's my birthday. I kind of slept in, fed the animals, drilled the holes in the boxes, put feeders on them, went and made some feed for the smaller colonies. And, just did a few things. My nephew was talking about coming over later in the week so we could pull some honey off and see how that goes. I didn't even go on my 2 framers to check to see if those cells had hatched out, the ones that I hung in there from the other day. So just kind of letting them go at the moment. I might get to go to Greg's on Saturday. That'll be good.
Don't forget the camera, or it never happened.
Yeah, they'll film videos together. That's pretty awesome, though. I've just been, man, we didn't even put a link up. Look at us. Slack today. It's my birthday. Give me a break.
Okay. I'm going to drop that link in the comments and pin it to the top.
Now I'll wait for it to come over here, and I'll pin it to my channel. Pin message. All right.
All right. Anybody wanting to come on in, just click that link at the top of the chat.
We didn't make it 15 minutes tonight. Some nights we go 30 minutes just talking to each other.
Yeah. Yeah, normally we're in the back studio a little bit earlier, and I think it was just one of them days.
Yeah, I was asleep. Got up late. Came in here trying to figure out how to get the names all synced for the giveaway, and then couldn't find them.
We got it all together, though.
I think we figured it out. I don't know. We'll see. It still hadn't synced before, so maybe it'll sync eventually.
I got it on my screen here. So how is everybody else doing this evening? What y'all got planned? I know it's still early in the week, but what y'all got planned for this weekend? Thank you there, Jim.
Still hasn't uploaded.
I'm still working on it. I went out there to try to catch the queen, mark her, and put her into the laying box the other day, and a storm started blowing in, a little thunder and the lightning, wind started blowing, so I had to call it quits a little early.
Oh, I could talk to myself longer than 15 minutes. You guys just don't know. I do it out in the bee yard all the time. All the time. Yeah, hey, thanks, Amir. I'm wondering if it's supposed to rain or not this week here. Let me see. I think cloudy tomorrow.
I think we got just a small chance, like 10 or 20%, like toward the end of the week and the weekend. Hopefully nothing too bad, because I do have a cutout to go look at Friday. Lady contacted me last night while I was at the restaurant with the family, sent me pictures, and it's actually her best friend's house. And she called her friend to find out how long the bees been there, if they just came in a day or two ago, because a bunch of them's on the outside of a window sitting on the shutter. So she figured it was a swarm coming in.
Right.
Asked her friend how long they'd been there. She said, about 10 years. And she's like, laugh out loud, whatever. How long they really been there? She said, well, would you feel better if I said 8 years? And it's quite a few bees in there. Let's see if I can bring that picture up.
Amir said, of those queens, he had 3 cells hatched, and one of them queens had no wings. No wing queen. That's... Oh, yeah, just some bees hanging out. Just got there, right?
Yeah, that's what she thought.
They're bearding on the outside of the house.
That's what I told her. I said, nah. I said, that many, and then they'll be in there 10 years? I said, nah, they're not just sitting there. It's getting hot on that wall.
She might as well get that checkbook out. Well, where could they be?
Right at the corner. Let me see. Let me pull the other
Well,
picture.
they could actually be right in the wall, right? On the other side, go in there to where it's framed in, or what?
At the corner of one of the window pieces right here, they got a little opening going into the wall. She sent me a video, and they're running in and out of here.
They're probably in between 2 studs in the wall.
Yep. And she said something about insulation. I said, if they've been in there 10 years, it ain't no insulation where they're at. They done pulled it all out.
They are the insulation.
Yeah. I'm going to take my FLIR over there, and with it being a brick wall, I told her I'd have to go from the inside and just cut the sheetrock out. I said, but I'll put the rock back up, but I don't finish it. She said, well, I can finish the rock. She said she's a jack of all trades. So, all right.
Well, I can do sheetrock too, but I never get the seams right.
It ain't too bad. I used to do it with my dad on the side. He done it for 40-something years. Sheetrock, painting, and carpentry.
Well, he probably wouldn't let you mess it up if he's like my dad.
Yeah, that's it.
Don't you mess that up. Look, it's off just a little bit. Let me fix that for you. For sure. So everybody seems to be doing cutouts.
DC, I'm not sure how old the house is. Hadn't really got no information, but they got bees in the wall and they want them out. So I'm off work Friday. The lady's off work, so we're going to meet up. They're probably about 30, 35 minutes from where I live.
You might want to stop there beforehand if you're trying to take them out on Friday just to see the size of the job. so you can bring the right equipment.
So, well, that's the thing. I won't even be able to go until Friday. She's off all weekend, just like I am. I told her I on Friday just to look at it. I'll bring my FLIR camera, try to get a heat signature, see how big it is.
Oh, yeah, that's probably another one of them 8-footers at least.
Well, the thing, even with the FLIR, it's going to show you a heat signature where the bees are, but the comb can extend on out. If there's no bees on it, it's not going to show any heat. So, I mean, it can be bigger than what the camera is going to show.
Right. Let's see. I have a cutout on Saturday. Just got a FLIR on Sunday. Checking it out Friday evening. I need to get out there and do more videos, but every time I go out there to do videos, the GoPro, you'll be in the middle of something, it'll just go off. And it don't matter which one, if it's the 5 or the Max, it's still gonna shut off. One of my highest swarmed, they made cells, so I split them 3 ways to mate. There you go. Thanks, 3 boys. That's the thing. I mean, just, split them up. As long as you can keep some numbers of bees with them, should be good to go. Good to go. See, this is the crazy part. Yeah. Everybody will wait till we're getting ready to get off for the evening. That's when they'll jump and hit the link. Until then,
make it last longer.
Yeah. Until then, we'll just be talking to each other. And so this might be a short stream tonight.
Somebody better jump in.
Brad's waiting on a bigger name to hop in. Yeah, GoPro is kind of, I like reliability.
What's wrong with GoPro, Brian?
Same thing. Probably the heat. You'll be in the middle of filming footage and it'll just clip out.
I haven't had a problem with mine yet. But I'm only recording at the 1080. Also, the higher resolution you get, the warmer it's going to get up too.
Well, that's all I'm doing is 1080. 1080 60.
No, I do 1080 30.
But my thing is, if you put it on the box and say it can do it, then it needs to do it without shutting off. Hell, it's an outdoor camera.
Yep.
It's for specifically filming outdoor activities. Just like the beekeeping suit. It's supposed to hold stuff into pockets. It's supposed to have Velcro on it. It's the same thing. It's the same thing.
Now, I run all of my video right now at 1080 30. That way, if I want to do any slow motion, I'll do my slow motion video at 60. And then I can run it down to 30 and it doubles the length. And it makes it smoother.
Let's see, man, we get people popping in. Even Fermana sent me a message, a message earlier. Let me see. Yeah. Matter of fact, speaking of which, did y'all watch that video? Did you guys watch the Bush Bee Man?
I hadn't watched his last couple videos.
That guy reminds me of Benny Hill. I mean, he's in Australia, but he reminds me of Benny Hill. Hey. And he made this fish tank beehive, and he put top bars on this fish tank. And then the top bars were going across the tank, but the bees put the comb long ways. And he's trying to take him out of that and put him in a flow hive.
Good luck.
Oh, he had a whole tank full of honey, different colors of honey, and then he's trying to get the bees out. It was a train wreck. But he caught it on video.
How you doing today, Miss Lisa?
I'm doing good. How are you guys?
Oh, pretty good. Trying to stay cool.
I'm going to have to go get my power source. I know, right?
Well, we could pop you out till you get your power source.
Yeah, I'll be right back.
All right.
Hey guys.
What's up, Mike?
Hey, Mike.
I just had to torment you guys a bit because I know how hot it is there, so I wouldn't put a sweater on.
All right, fix it.
Hey,
Where'd Lisa
Magic
go?
Sarah.
She had to go get her charger for her phone.
Oh, well, wait till she gets back then.
She'll be right back. Yeah, the wrong side. I'm looking at myself in there in the picture, looking to get this thing, and it's on the other side of my head. What a wreck of a day! See, turn 52, everything falls apart just like that.
You have a good birthday, Bob?
Yeah, I mean it's another day, right? Same thing. Do every
Feels
day.
like another day until next week, and then you'll feel it.
Yeah, that's pretty true. I mean, next week is supposed to get into the triple digits here again. So where it's only been in the 80s so far, 80s, 90s.
We hit 93 here today. Heat index of 101. It's still showing 90 right now. Heat index is 99.
I'm showing 80 on mine. Hey.
I'm 84 right now.
I think I'm at 68.
Must
Hey,
be nice.
Lisa. Mike.
It's 84 and cloudy. Wait till it's like 97 and partly cloudy. It's like the sun's not even out. Why is it so doggone hot? Look, Lisa put a finger aside her nose and up the chimney she rose.
I have issues with my internet apparently. Hi, Sarah.
Hey, Lisa.
How are you doing?
How's it going?
It's
Lisa,
going.
where are you?
Where am I? I'm in Alabama, southeastern corner, close to Florida.
Okay. Oh,
She's from Greenbow, Alabama.
Run, Forrest, run!
I'm wearing
See, I
my
knew-
South Carolina Aquarium shirt. I was there about 5 years ago with my hubby.
Nice. The I ordered my. I got, of course, Game of Thrones shirt on, but I ordered my Beaking Bad shirt that I made, so I ordered
Those
that.
are cool. I like those.
So we'll wait to see how it looks when it comes in. But it's pretty decent. Pretty decent.
Hey, Castle Grounds, is that going to be the beekeeper update live you're going to do?
Now we got to wait for 30 seconds for him to get the feed and send it back to us so we can see in the chat.
Yeah.
It takes a minute for it to come
I
back.
like watching his videos, how he updates everything.
Been and will be 100 plus. I know it's been there already, but it's coming back again. Hot.
Well, I said I wasn't going to complain about the heat because I don't like the cold.
Yeah.
I used to prefer summertime. Now I prefer winter. I can always put enough clothes on. You can't take enough off.
That's exactly what I've always said, Lee.
I always said
Yeah,
you
but
can't
in
take
the wintertime,
enough
you
off
can't
without
be in the
getting in trouble.
bees.
Uh-huh.
Can't take enough
One
off.
way or another.
That still ain't enough.
Well, that's going to be the new shirt, butt naked beekeeping.
Hey,
Isn't there a naked beekeeper or bikini
you
beekeeper
know,
or
doggone
something?
well there
There's
is
bees in
somewhere.
bikinis.
One, but
I
I
didn't
think
know.
I've seen a naked one too.
Yeah.
They can
That's
have
when you
that
can,
one. Nope.
That's when you can tell you're from the South when you say naked.
Naked.
That's what Lisa
Naked.
said. The naked beekeeper.
Hey, everybody, if y'all get a chance tonight, y'all go check out Castle Grounds Apiary. You're going to do the stat video tonight.
Cool.
Hey, if you let us know when it's going to happen, maybe we can just raid that channel. Hop off of here and everybody go watch it. I'm surprised if I held #1 spot again this month. Probably not.
I only uploaded a couple, so he probably doesn't have me on there anyway. So,
well, I don't know. He probably does. You'd be surprised. You'd be
If not,
surprised.
send him a message on one of his videos, and he can probably get you on there.
Hey, I was impressed. One of my shorts actually got 234 views.
awesome.
For a short.
Yeah.
Some of
I
the
was
short,
showing I was putting my nuke in a big box, in a 10-frame box, and let the bees march into the box.
Everybody likes the march.
Yeah.
Oh, well, thank you, Justin.
If you
He's got me on there. It's all good.
Now, I've noticed over the past few weeks, I might get 2, 3, sometimes 400 views a week. For some reason, the past 2 days, it's been showing up over 800 in the last 48-hour shows.
That's growth. That's
pretty good.
Awesome.
And I don't know what caused it, but it's like doubling, tripling the views, the hours.
You're welcome, Lee.
I actually went up, I think,
20
or 29 subs in like the last week. So.
That's funny. No, there is kind of a little bit of a attrition that happens there. If you see, like you guys, we made like 50 people on here. I don't have that many subs, but over the time that people watch my channel and they see pretty, people.
Okay.
No, I want to say hi.
He said no. Well, everybody says hi to you anyway.
It's all right.
Tell me we need more videos of him cutting grass by the beehives.
We need more videos of you cutting grass. Hang on, look.
I
can't take it out or
something to launch at him, and he walked away unscathed. I didn't get that.
Yeah,
he didn't get stung wearing a red shirt doing that. I was surprised.
I was weed eating by mine the other day. I was battery weed eater just so it don't have that noise, and one caught me right on the cheek, but it wasn't enough. The stinger didn't stick. It just kind of hit and took off.
I got mad at my wife because I walked out today. I was like, I told you don't wash my stuff with any fabric softener, nothing. I was getting zapped. And she's like, but I didn't. And then I'm thinking maybe it's just dryer sheets.
See, like I said earlier, Bob, you said you got on to your wife.
Could be your soap.
Now we know that little knot come from the frying pan.
Yeah. Dude, they were tearing my head up today. I don't know what was going on. I got hit right here in the arm. Like an IV shot this morning. I couldn't even go into the yard hardly without it. They were insane today. But
I sat out my thinking spot looking. They didn't even come bother me. Of course, I wasn't bothering them either. But
I do most of the time. I do my own laundry.
Watching them washboard.
Really not.
Mine
much.
are just bearding all over my one monster hive. Oh my gosh, they're all up the side of it or the front of it.
Mine do that at night. Now during the day, no problem. They're flying in and out. Everything's going good. And at night they just come back and park on the front.
That's their version of a party.
Yeah.
They're just having a big slumber party.
They're literally hanging around too.
Just a big porch party.
Hanging on the front.
Yeah, that's how mine are, Three Boys Bees. If it ain't no nectar flow going, you better suit up when you go out there. They're gonna.
Yeah, because all the foragers are staying right there.
Yep.
Yeah.
I'll just pour 5 gallons of syrup right down the top of that son of a gun. Sting me again. Just give it a dump. Oh, you need syrup? Here's syrup. No, I would never do that. But I did think about going into some of my weaker 10-frame colonies and just putting a frame feeder in it. The problem I have is if they're too weak that they're not going to make honey and I put feed on them, then the ones that are really strong just harass the crap out of them all day long. So,
now, do any of you guys during the dearth put robber guards on?
I haven't yet.
I haven't yet.
Yeah.
no,
I use a sheet, like a wet towel or a wet sheet.
Do you?
When I start seeing that activity, it helps for the time being.
Yeah, I did a split of like 4 nukes last summer, and they immediately started getting robbed out. And I didn't realize how low the nectar flow was. And so, I guess as soon as I'm starting them, unless I know there's a heavy flow, I'm putting some type of guard on right away.
But I'll tell you, working at, like, I didn't do it yet tonight. I'll do it right after this video, but after the stream. But I'll go out there and put the feed on at night, right? Move the jar, put another jar on top of it.
Yeah.
And that way they have a good 12 hours a feeding time before any robbing happens. And if you're just putting a small little bit on there, it's usually gone by the time daylight comes around and the robbers are out and about. And that seems to be helping with the two framers. Not a lot of harassment. The other thing I noticed is I put pollen sub in my tube feeder, and they're starting to hit that, just a man lake pollen sub. So
that's something that people don't talk about too much, is when you have a dearth, you actually have a pollen dearth at the same time usually. So throwing pollen sub on during a dearth just to try and keep your population up is a good thing. Hey, would you guys mind if I took this one? Daisy's honey, would killing the weeds with vinegar, salt, and dish detergent hurt the bees? No, not if you're putting it on the ground, but just for what it's worth, I've got a red light flashlight, a cap light, and I go out with a weed whip at night and go after them. So
good idea.
A way of getting around it.
That way you ain't got to worry about them flying in and out while you're trying to spray and get any overspray.
And I've used the vinegar, salt, and Dawn dish detergent in my yard, and I haven't seen any ill effects on the bees either. So, that's a green light. Go ahead, kill the weeds with it.
I just weed eat or mow with the zero turn during the day. I just put my suit
You
on.
see, my husband does.
Oh,
I put the suit on though, and I drive right
that's how
by.
I do it.
He just does it.
So, Lee, I do something similar. I've got a cub riding lawnmower, and I make one pass in front of the hives. And I go mow part of the lawn. And I come back and make a second pass.
That's
don't try to hang around the hive with it.
I go by, like you say, go do something else. I come back, make another pass, and I keep on doing that till it's all finished.
Yeah, mow and run.
Or I have one of those battery operated weed whackers, and go around them with that, the battery powered ones.
Sugar bricks?
Yeah.
Yep.
During the dirt because if you put sugar water out, it can cause robbing because they're going to.
I get that. I just never tried that. So I'm assuming that they're taking the sugar bricks. That's really interesting because I got a ton.
Mine did. Okay. I only use mine during the winter though.
Right.
Yeah, same here, but.
Mm-hmm.
But it's same effect. Fondant would probably do the same thing, other than the heat might melt it.
I mean, if you leave any honey on them, you probably wouldn't have to feed, depending on how long your dearth is. But if you're taking all the honey off, you're gonna have to put something on there.
Well, mine was just to try to strengthen up these little colonies, and obviously the bigger colonies have stored away enough. Maybe I don't get to pull that much of it off or whatever, but I don't care. Whatever, as long as they live,
Pucker up.
Pucker right up.
Say, did you guys by any chance see? I think it was like 2 videos ago. Ian Stepler was out there pulling frames and equalizing, and he's pulling them out and putting them in a 6-frame box, and then he's using that box to sit on to go through the next hive.
Right.
Except he doesn't have the top plug in, so he's sitting down bare butted on top of this hole full of bees. I'm like, that's confidence, dude.
Yeah. Maybe they can't get turned around in the feeder hole, all of them.
Oh, well, something. I think they were all nurse bees that he was pulling out, so it's kind of incidental, but I thought it was funny at the time. I had to give him a little crap about that.
That'll be coming real soon for me, the equalization.
Real motor. Mower.
A real mower, yeah. Well, only thing is you got to go slow. Got to go slow around there.
That's a lot.
I'm with Lee on that one. I'll get a running start from about a mile away and hit him, and keep going.
like I said, as long as there's nectar, I mean, I don't have to go real slow or real fast, but I'm not going to waste no time either.
My rider don't mess with them at all.
Yeah, and the other part of it is when you mow up there, try to do it at peak foraging time, so the hotter forage bees aren't there quite as much. So
then if you do have to mow, try to blow the grass away from your hive instead of.
Yeah.
They like it when they get hit with grass.
Yeah.
Tip of the night. That's pretty good there. I'm later into my hive, so the weeds can't grow. Dennis. Wasn't Charlie talking about doing something like that with carpet too?
Carpet,
Yeah, to screw the hive beetles.
I use some old roof tile.
Oh, I've seen that done too. Yeah,
it seems to help a little. I mean,
I was about to say the thing with the roof tile. I mean, it's black, so it absorbs that heat. If any hive beetle larva does fall out and hit it, they fried.
cook them.
True.
Amir asked, does anybody use the essential oils mix?
For what?
For food, your feed.
I haven't tried it yet.
Last year, early spring, I did. This year, I didn't.
When I met Amir, I asked him, did he have any problems with hive beetles? He said, this is a direct quote. No, I put spearmint and peppermint oil put it in a blender and mix it up and put it in there. So
Interesting.
He's been using the peppermint as well.
I believe that's one of the things that David from
Hey, Jose.
He puts the different oils and blends it up.
No, the only oils
The mix that I use is an essential oil blend by I think it's Carolina honeybees.
Carolina.
I like her, Charlotte the beekeeper. I learned a lot from her.
I did. She uses it. It mixes tea tree oil, either wintergreen, spearmint, or peppermint, and lemongrass. And I use that. It's supposed to be like a honeybee healthy. But I mix it. One recipe calls mixing it with lecithin for an emulsifier, but I just blend it up in my blender and it emulsifies it just fine. And I just keep it in my refrigerator. When I do feed the bees, I dilute that with a cup of water and then add it to their feeders.
Yeah. That's how David at Barnyard Bees said. You put it in the blender for like 5 minutes, and it will emulsify together. That's been sitting in there for a year, and it has not separated.
So the only essential oils that I put on there, for me at least, is I use what is it, Pro Health, and the reason I use that is because it's got thymol in it. I'm trying to knock down the nosema, the gut nosema.
I was thinking about adding it to mine.
Yeah, and oddly enough, we can't use it as a nosema treatment, but we can use it as a syrup preservative. So that's, anyways, then I just do that in the spring. If anybody's interested in doing this, you can take a look at Frederick Dunn. He did a video on comparing different, he put out a bunch of feeders, let the bees go at them. And
hey, there's Dirt Rooster.
Hey, Dirt Rooster.
There he is.
Yeah, I got a company here. I'll be back in a minute.
But yeah,
hey, Charlie.
Hey.
For underneath the colonies, I've heard of people using those like they look like big puzzle piece rubber mats, that flooring.
Oh yeah.
Those would probably work too if they had some weight on them to keep it
down.
I
ordered a vinyl billboard from, I guess it's called vinylbillboards.com, to set up a yard. I never got them moved out there, but it's set up. It just doesn't have my hives in it yet.
Jose, what the heck is Complete?
Complete works. What was that?
Works self-standing without nosema spore regulation. Complete.
Where do you get it?
I've never heard of it. Have you guys?
No, I haven't.
I'm not at the level Jose is, so
I'm not either.
Yeah, it'd be like, oh, this stuff works great, but you got to buy a tractor trailer load of it.
You gotta go buy it in pallets.
It comes in a semi-tanker, but yeah, you can get all you want. We're just picking.
Yeah, I don't think it'd be good for me.
All right, Date Ant has it. Let's see if we can pull this up. They're usually on my quick list.
I'm sorry, my dog is torturing my chickens.
Oh, that's okay.
He terrorizes the chickens like crazy.
Yeah, well.
Riley!
Riley said, no, Mom.
Yeah, I'd love to have Jose come back and explain what that is if you don't have to buy an 800 gallon tanker. Yeah. Charlie, how are you doing?
Good.
So what's your temperature there?
Well, it's raining right now. It's it's been actually really nice in the 70s and 80s with low humidity.
Oh, wow. For you, that's pretty good.
Yeah, it's really nice. It's been very nice.
Yeah.
1 liter.
Where are you, Charlie?
I'm in Maryland, around Baltimore.
In Maryland?
Yeah.
1 liter of complete from Daydan.
Daydan.
A 1 liter bottle, $97.95.
So
That's sticker shock.
what's in it?
Gold, evidently.
Apparently.
It's a
When I walk into that one.
Gasoline.
All right, so let's see.
Oh my
Size
goodness.
The 100 milliliter size, 100 ml is $21.
That's not very much. That's like 3.5 ounces.
Says 100 ml will feed up to 20 colonies by drenching or 40 colonies in sugar syrup. Well, I mean,
I guess you only have to use a dropper full.
How often do you have to feed it? Or is it just every time you feed? Information. It probably won't tell you what's in it.
Yeah, I would say that was 1 feeding.
Because they'd be giving the super sauce away. Whole plant, polyphenols. The picture's blurry and my eyes are blurry, so.
Yeah, complete contains full strength nose of it.
Premium essential oils, complete vitamins, minerals, amino acids, and organic herbals. The only complete honeybee food supplement in the world. I trust Jose. If he says it's good, it's good. I'd have to take that second mortgage out that somebody was talking about.
I was going to say, I have to sell a kidney or something.
Well, luckily for guys, I think they're giving $35,000 for a testicle out in Las Vegas somewhere for science. For science. I saw that on the internet that there was some group that was paying people $35,000 for 1 testicle donation so they could do some kind of science experiments on it.
I don't know about it.
Well, it really doesn't apply.
Yeah.
But man, I can't believe that stuff's $97 for a liter.
Jeez.
Be my luck, I'd drop it and it hit like the corner of the brick stairs and poke a hole in it, and it would be like this much left in it when I came back out or something. Charlie, wake up.
It's internet seems to be slow tonight or something.
Well,
mine has been too.
Actually, I'm the only one slow in here tonight.
I was going to say, I felt slow all day.
Yeah,
oh my gosh.
It's the oncoming storm. We got stormy weather coming in tomorrow.
I'm just trying to keep busy and talk real fast because I don't have any cigarettes.
Oh. That's hard. I'm with you. I'm sorry.
I finished my last one and I said I'm done. But we'll see if my body tells me I'm done.
Do you know how many times I've said I'm done?
Well, and then hop in the car and run to the store.
Well, let's see. 20 years ago, I quit for almost 2 years. I made it almost 2 years. And then I caved, and that's been it. I haven't been able to quit again.
I'm trying. But these cigarette butts, the little piece of white that's over the brown cigarette butt, they're looking so good right now. It's
I've done.
It's just like a one hitter. Like, damn, there, put it out. But usually when I'm sitting on my computer is like one of the trigger points, right? Because I'm lighting and talking. But now,
pick up a pen.
They won't taste as good.
No, but just where you have something to do with your finger. I mean, I
fidget.
Just trying to help you.
Maybe I'll get hooked on the.
I got some dum pops. Some suckers.
The Flonase.
I tried chewing gum and broke a tooth, and it's horrible.
Hey, Jose, what's your humidity like out there? You're at 100 plus. Is it completely dry, or like to here. I can't remember. Where in California is he, by the way?
Northern California. I can tell you exactly from his website.
My gosh. So, Charlie, what's going on with your beads this week?
Let's see. I grafted queens Friday, and I checked them.
Right.
I guess it was Saturday. So I grafted like 23 cells. I think I got 20 out of 23 that were accepted.
Wow.
So, and then Saturday I made up a bunch of mating boxes, and I finally went through all my nukes and hives, and I know exactly where they all are, whether they're queenless, whether they got queens. And with the mating boxes I made up, I sort of equalized on my strong.
There's Phil.
Hi, Phil.
How long did that take you to go through those, Charlie?
The Game of Thrones twins.
I guess 3 or 4 hours.
Yeah. I had a couple of vets over from the Hives for Heroes program on Sunday, and we went through a dozen hives and equalizing frames, doing queen searches and that kind of stuff. And
that's what I did.
Yeah. And that was a 5-hour project, but it was a teaching thing too. But luckily, it was nice and cool to be in the bee suit. So,
all right. So
sharp.
See, that's the difference between you guys and me right now. I'm not sitting out in my bee yard for 5 hours in a bee suit at 100 degrees. It ain't. I would literally, even with just a veil on, I'll start sweating so bad that when I tip my head down, everything lands on the inside of my glasses. And no, I can't do it. Unless I got to go out early in the morning.
I think I've been about 3 hours at the most in my suit.
Okay, well, guys, get ready for this. Phil, what's your temperature there?
54. A balmy 54.
You have a fire going.
That's a summer heat.
I did, but it's gone out now.
Yeah. If you guys have never seen Phil's channel, go take a look at his flow hives and whatnot. I swear this guy polishes dirt. The place looks so nice.
Oh, no.
Well, you do. I mean, it really does.
Look, we got so many people on here. Lee just left the stream.
I saw that.
He left 10 minutes ago. You didn't even see him, Bob.
Yeah, I saw him. I just, I figured he just got up and went and get something to come back, but he's probably taking a nap right now.
I think he actually went out to get cigarettes for you, Bob.
I just had to come
like
on
13 hours.
I just had to come on and support my brother Bob on his birthday. Happy birthday, Bob.
Yeah, there you go.
Thank you.
Wonderful thing. 52
years young.
So, Charlie, you probably know this, but Phil does some mill work. Wood mill.
Well, I push buttons.
Hey.
What do you got a band mill or a circle mill or what?
Would you believe we have a complete, I probably shouldn't mention names, but a USNR automatic complete mill from start to finish.
Be right back.
Oh my goodness! Oh, those are amazing to watch.
We have.
Stop.
Yeah, I know, but what's your head rate at
we have
a band mill?
I don't want to get into sort of technical stuff here, but we have a canter quad to start.
What is it?
We have a canter quad to start.
Okay.
Canter quad going to a curve saw gang.
Oh, you got a gang.
We have a curve saw gang, which then goes to 3 twin band mills.
Wow.
Okay.
Which are all individually positioned. Yeah,
that's all straight line type thing where you're going right down the track.
Yeah. Well, it's not the straight line, but it's technically it's a straight line, but it's not. But
right, but it like your cant's going down through there, and it's sawing on both sides of it and flipping.
Yeah,
and all that stuff.
we take up the 4 boards off the quad. Yeah. Then we go to the gang and we curve the cant with the gang, and then we take the boards off with the 3 twins.
You see my eyes just glazing over.
Yeah, no.
Well, I was just going to say for the
This is probably a 3-man conversation here, but
Yeah, it's
exactly.
It's the lumber mill labor unit union right here.
And we have 100 bin sorter at the end to collect everything.
Right.
But for the rest of the audience here, in case you're wondering where the wood comes from, when you're doing your beehive boxes, it's like Charlie and Phil and me that we cut the doggone wood down, and it comes from somewhere. And
hats off to you. I just don't understand what you're saying.
I know.
Neither does the 50 people watching.
He's got a super automatic mill where it's more of a sawmill factory than it is like I have a circle sawmill that's
Lee has 3 screens in front of him. I have 23.
23.
Oh, I bet. Right. Okay, that makes sense. An assembly like that.
Well, that's one frame for the computer and 22 frames for porn.
Yeah. Good one, Bob.
I had to jump off there. I got that phone call for that cutout Friday. They're not wanting to cut walls out. They had another beekeeper come look, and he said the only thing you can do is kill the bees. He's supposed to be a beekeeper for 20 years, and he's telling the only option you got is to kill them.
But he said he didn't want to cut the walls out.
The owner don't want to cut the walls out. He said he don't mind removing that faux window, the fake window, and getting access, but he don't want to cut no sheetrock. I said, if I can get them through the window,
kill the bees and leave the comb, more's going to come.
You get worse.
That's what I said. I said, if you kill the bees, all that comb's going to melt the honey in it, and you're going to really have a problem if you cutting rock out then. But
then you're going to have roaches.
Yep. Oh. A 20-year beekeeper was telling them the only option you have is to kill them. There's no way you can get them out of the wall.
Well, there's always another option, but one of the things you can do to prevent the invasion of other insects or bees and whatnot is you can spray the interior really heavy with permethrin.
Yeah,
but you got to do that every 6 months. So, that's another dance. But I'm sorry to hear that that's what the guy came up with.
Yeah, I told him I'll come over there and look Friday. If anything, I'll try to do a trap out. I said I'll put a ladder up there with a box and do what I can to get them out of there.
But that still leaves all the comb in the wall.
Well, something about the owner said he's going to pull the faux window out, go in and pull the comb out.
Okay.
He'll take care of all that. Okay, go for it. As long as I can get the bees out, you can have the headache of the comb.
Yeah. Trap the bee on the outside. You know something? That's all fine and dandy, but it's not taking care of the brood and the nurse bees in there.
Yeah. That's why I told him. I said, even if I do a trap out, it could take a couple weeks. I said, because if they got nurse bees in there, they're going to want to stay on that brood. They're going to cap it off, and then it's going to be up to day 21 when they hatch. And then it's going to be several days after that before those bees want to fly out.
It'll take at least a minimum of 6 weeks.
Yeah.
Minimum 6 weeks on a trap.
I don't mind coming to look, though, see what they got, see if there's anything I can help them with.
And it's not like it's a new colony, right?
No,
it's been there for years.
Yeah, they guesstimating 10 years.
So my goodness.
If it's been in there 10 years, yeah, it's going to take a long time to get those bees out on a trap out.
Sure. Randy put something up here. You cannot kill honeybees in Ohio. Okay.
Yeah, that's supposed to be here too. You're not supposed to be able to kill them.
Okay.
A lot of people here tell you that you can't, but it's not actually law.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, true. They prefer not to.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, Frank, that's what I'm going to try to do. See if there's any way I can do a trap out. Just put a new box there. And the 20-year beekeeper also told him that even if you did try to run the bees out of there, that the queen wouldn't come out. The bees wouldn't leave her, and if she don't come out, but you can get the other bees out, that you could not put a new queen with them, or they would kill her instantly.
I don't believe that
people
either.
put new queens with them all the time. I do it.
Right. Yeah, they're full of poop. You could do a cage introduction there, but I mean a press-in cage.
Yeah, that's what I told her. I said you would put the queen in a cage, put her in there for several days, let her get used to the pheromone, and then see how they react and release her.
Yeah.
90% of the time, they're going to accept the queen if they're in a bind with nothing. Now, there are times they don't like that queen. You may have to try another queen.
Yeah. Daisy put something in here about honeybee robber.
Yeah.
You know something? I don't know if that would chase the nurse bees away from the queen or whatnot. I have no experience in that.
Oh, it'll make them come out. That honeybee gun will make them come out.
I think the honey robber would. The 2 supers I pulled the other day, there was a little patch of brood on each one of them,
and it was gone.
They had 2 nurse bees that stayed in there. All the rest were gone.
Okay, there we go.
So you can actually take your smoker, light it, stuff everything on top, and put the honey robber on top of your pine straw or whatever, and you can puff the smoke into the hive, and puff that honey robber in with it.
The biggest problem is putting honey robber in there. You would still have to do it from the inside, probably. You'd still have to drill a hole in the colony, spray it from the backside, because where they're going in that window, they're going to have to be making a turn somewhere around there.
Yeah.
To fill up the wall. So,
well, it'll be really interesting to see what you see when you get there, when they pull that window out, and how accessible it is. That'll be interesting.
Yeah, she was trying to tell me. She said, "Well, just call the guy tonight." I said, "I'm actually on a live right now." She's like, "Well, give me your YouTube channel. I'm coming to subscribe, and bring your camera when you come." She said, "We'll video it."
Nice,
wonderful.
And then you'll be telling people to come subscribe to my channel.
Exactly.
Say Frank's Bees put something about their leaf fill the hole in with foam. Mr. Ed has covered that, and he says no, the bees will chew right through it.
They'll chew through it. Yeah. Now the other option you have, if you have a little steel wool, you can push that into the hole.
Thank you.
And then put foam in it.
Yeah,
you won't eat it out as bad.
Yeah.
But rather than the foam, I prefer pushing the steel wool in and then putting the clear caulk or whatever color caulk it may be on that, because they don't want to go through caulk itself most of the time.
Brick house with a wooden single hung window. Well, either way, it's going to be interesting. I hope you get a chance to film that as well. No, and I hope you can help them. Fill it with fiberglass insulation. You know, Silver Gorilla, I'm wondering, so I've got bumblebees here, and they actually tunnel through the fiberglass and make nests in it. That's bumblebees, mind you. Yeah. But I wonder if the honeybees would. I mean, honeybees, they can push crap. Most people don't realize that, but
they're pretty heavy.
Yeah, sometimes they will pull the insulation out of the walls and open the cavity up larger for themselves.
So what is the name of that top feeder that so many people are using? It's a round thing, a Cerasil?
Rapid round.
Rapid round.
That you can't find anywhere as far as I know. Nobody can actually get them now.
Yeah, I heard somebody commenting about that the problem with that is that when the syrup gets low and there's quite as much pressure on it, the bees will actually force that doggone cover cup up by crawling underneath it. And that's a lot of work. You get a lot of bees bent on getting someplace, and they'll go. But dozens of times have this
put a sock around it
and caulk. Huh, okay. Oh, caulk.
Sock. Put an old sock around the cone and jam it down on.
Yeah, actually,
Fred Dunn.
He just covered that, didn't he, Phil?
That was quite a while ago.
Ah, okay. Okay. No, I just saw him.
Stops the bees from drowning.
Yeah.
The sock soaks up the syrup.
Yeah, I heard the AC filter material is a lot better. It's thicker, so they can't really chew through it.
So, my son, man, I'll tell you what. So he messaged me like 8 o'clock this morning. No, I'm sorry, 7 o'clock this morning, saying happy birthday, right? Messenger. He said, I'll call you in a little while. He just tried to call me at 9 o'clock at night. Like, really? You're going to call me at 9, 10 o'clock on my birthday? It's nothing like waiting to the last minute. You know? Kids.
He was just going to bed at 7 and he's just getting up 9.
Yeah, maybe. Probably.
I know windows are
this is crazy.
Breaking. Yeah, exactly, DC. So
I'll be real curious to see how that comes out.
Yeah,
Earl, that makes sense. David has the rapid round.
Yeah, but There was other people that had them too. Let me see. Let me look at Barnyard. Barnyard bees.
Bumblebee honey, sweet and thin. I love it. Oh my gosh. That's Three Boys Bees. They did a tour down south there, and they were trying different flavors of honey. It was kind of some fun short little trips there. Kind of a grand thing.
Well, it looks like they have the yellow ones that were not the ones he was using. So maybe he's found the Chinese ones now or something.
Okay. I'm going to keep saying it probably just about every talk, but Bob, I still want to know where the hell that Tupperware feeder, who made that? That thing is just driving me nuts, man.
I even talked
for the nukes.
Well, they have them for 10 framers too. And I talked to Scott Derrick. He couldn't remember where he got them. That's how long it's been. Before they, I guess, even had them in. All right, so he's got the white ones too. It says
$11.99.
Let me see. Fits in a shallow 8 or 10 frame super. Holds a half gallon. In the small rapid round. What's the other one? Hold the yellow one. Same thing. 8 or 10. 1 quart. All right, so.
I like using those.
Is a quart a half a gallon?
No.
There's 4 quarts to a gallon.
All right, so yeah. So for $1 less, you're getting a quart feeder, and the other one's a half gallon.
My biggest thing is, why even want to use them?
Do what?
Why would you even want to use them things?
The rapid rounds?
Yeah.
Charlie, run with this one. Go ahead.
Well, I mean, if you're going to feed a 10 frame, I want a man leg. I want to put 4 gallons in there if I'm feeding up for fall. And they'll suck that down. They'll suck 4 gallons down in 2 days' time, easy.
It can get really crazy when they're packing.
And then in the fall, like my nukes, I use those late lysin feeders. They hold 3 quarts, and in 4 to 6 hours, they're gone. If they're sucking it down for the fall.
Use a lysin feeder?
Yeah, it fits. Yeah, it fits one of those. It's designed for those 6 frame nukes. They're brown.
Oh, the plastic one that sits.
Plastic ones, yeah.
10 frame for $16.95. It better be.
I used to use them, but they don't hold enough. They're too flimsy.
Okay.
The nukes are. I use them for my nukes. When you got 20 nukes, you're going to go down the line with a 40-gallon tank and pump it off, and.
I like Hell's Hive's ideal here. The plastic shoe boxes from the dollar store. Put some straw in it, and it's $1.25 for the box.
Mm-hmm.
So basically, you're using a piece of Tupperware.
Bees will eat out of anything. Everything else is just our convenience.
Yeah, they'll find it.
I tell you no lies. I went to my mentor's. He had a black label liquor bottle, the plastic black label liquor bottles, and had cut out a trough, just a section of the top, and put pine straw in it and put feed in it, and the bees drink right out of that. Mm-hmm. They don't really care. Everything else is just our assessment of what we like, right?
I guess a lot of the things that we do buy is just for us.
Yeah,
good
make
point.
Us feel better.
Good point. Jeff Thomas brought up an interesting thing using the 1 gallon Ziploc baggie. I know one of Bob Binney's friends. That's all he uses.
Don't refill those, please. Don't. Don't ask me how I know.
From experience.
I tried to be cheap and said, I'll just refill it. No, it split, and there was a river coming down through, and they chased me across the yard.
They told you don't do that again, huh?
They tried to get up under my my wrist cuff. I mean, they were all over my wrist, all around it, trying to get in there and get me. They were gonna get me.
That's what
I
I'm
see a lot of people use the bucket feeders.
Yeah.
But if you replace them, I mean, it works great. Just don't reuse them.
all my hives that I'm buying now have the migratory covers on them, and I'm cutting a 2-inch hole in it with a plug. Pop that plug out, and I can drop the bucket feeder on top.
Yeah, and I'm doing a kind of a compromise there, Lee. I'm going with this 71 millimeter hole, which is about the size of a quart jar lid. So I'm doing the Bob Binney route. So instead of having the L plugs, I'll do that. And then, I'll do the quart jars because I can watch them really easy to see what they're taking or not.
Yeah.
But then in the fall, like Charlie's talking about, use the 1 or 2 gallon, depending upon how strong the hive is, because they will suck that down, right, Charlie?
The only thing that I've seen with like the jar feeders down here in Louisiana, the heat and humidity, when the sun hits that, it will cause it to mold a lot faster.
Yeah, I was wondering about that too. No, I'm using
But apple cider vinegar is supposed to keep it from molding.
You put a little apple cider vinegar, or if you just have an old coffee can, they say put something over it just to keep the sun from hitting it.
Well, the other thing is not giving them too much that they can't eat down in a timely manner before the mold comes in,
Yeah, but what time of year?
I believe as well.
Okay.
I'm gonna be right back. I have to go grab my charger.
Daisy, I was just gonna say that I'm treating all my syrup with, I forget what the measurement of chlorine is, and I've never had a problem with it, and it eliminates like 90% of that black mold problem.
Bleach works too, yeah.
Yeah, so it's I'm trying to get Troy to try it out, and when he makes all his stuff, and he's like, "No, I'm not putting bleach in there." And I'm like, I try to explain when I talked to you guys about this before. All my honeybees going to my friend's chlorine pool and drinking all the splash over. I mean,
right?
It's just they just go crazy on it. But it depends what time of year it is too. But apple juice containers, apple juice containers, I kind of like that one actually. That's pretty funny. Kind of limited in size, but bit of bit.
Well, he might get the 1 gallon apple juice or the half-gallon apple juice things from Walmart. Like they got the octagon, just cut a square out of it and set it on top of your hive.
Oh, yeah, okay.
But I mean, it's just depending on what you want to use, right? I mean,
yeah. Silver Gorilla brought something up out there. Yeah, drinking bleach won't hurt him. For everybody here everybody here that's ever made wine, you drop the Camden tablets into the mash.
Sounds like a Trump saying.
But I think it's not necessarily preventing it as much as is sanitizing the syrup up front. I don't know. Don't have an answer for you on that one, but it works. Hey, Tobias. Hello, Tobias. Where are you located?
Upper Michigan, Upper Peninsula.
Did you lose a bet?
He's a Youper.
I am a Youper.
Oh, man, I love that snow up there. We're up around the Copper Mountain area there. Is that right, the ski lodge?
I'm over on the eastern upper, right by the Canadian border, or right by the Canadian bridge.
Yeah, it's beautiful land up there, man. Absolutely beautiful. What's your temperature now?
I'd say, hold on.
He's checking his phone right now for you.
So let's see, we got Jose that's 100 plus, and I'm at 68, and Phil's at 53.
What are you at right now?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you, Tobias.
Oh, I shouldn't have done that.
Oh, we can hear you fine.
We got you there, Tobias. What's your temperature?
50 degrees.
There you go.
Yeah.
So you can be in Northern Ireland right now.
Right where I like it.
Even lower than me.
I don't know what we're at.
It doesn't get too warm up here.
Yeah.
No.
Our heat index was 101 today.
Man. I didn't catch who put it in there, but somebody was just mentioning when they suit up, they're using a sweat band or whatever. Yeah, I try to get my reading glasses underneath my hood, and when it's so doggone hot, getting that sweat dropping down in there.
At least
that's really interesting. So, Tobias, what's your high forecast here going on for the next week or so?
I want to say 69, 70.
Okay, and have you gone through your bees to see how many frames you got in your boxes?
I went through both of them. One hive, they filled out pretty much the whole bottom deep already.
Really?
Yeah. Well, I'll say there was 3 frames that they didn't fill out, so I might have been jumping the gun on putting the honey box on, but I did anyways.
No. You're fine. You're fine if that's how much brood you got in there. That they can afford to heat up that honey box through there. So
I want to say probably 4 frames of brood.
Oh, 4 frames of brood? No, then I wouldn't put it on there.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, no, hold off on putting that in. Wait until it moves out to about 7 or 8 or something like that. Just be sure to tip them, like once a week and look for swarm cells. But for 4 frames of beads, the temperature you're talking about, I'm in east central Minnesota, and no, if we go to put a honey super on with only 4 frames of bead, we can end up with lots of interesting brood disease. It just weakens the hive.
Don't want to do that.
Yeah. So
I'm only a second-year beekeeper, so I got to learn.
Welcome to the party, Tobias. It's a glorious thing.
It is. It's very interesting. I enjoy it.
It's an addiction.
Oh, yeah.
Definitely is.
I'm still new to Tobias.
Nice to meet you.
It's
hard for me to hear and it lags in and out. I'm not very close to my router, but it's too loud in the house to talk.
Sounds like my house.
We got you fine.
You're fine. Look, Lee's
hope everybody's doing well.
Yeah, we're doing pretty good. Just at least down here.
I learned something about that Ziploc baggie feeder. I won't be using that. Reusing it, I should say.
Wait, are you muted, Sarah?
Oh, a neck fan.
I can't hear you. Sarah's not coming through.
Yeah, I was looking at getting one of them because it gets hot in that suit.
Yeah. Last year I finally broke down and went and got what's the bee suit you don't like, Charlie, because it doesn't fit you right? Guardian.
Yeah, Guardian is the one I'm talking about.
Yeah, I have a Guardian, and my question, I was going to try to wash it this week, and I can't figure out how to unzip the darn hood. I mean,
yeah. Let me know if you can figure that one out. I couldn't either.
Is that right?
It's fun to get it unzipped. Just pay attention or video yourself unzipping it because you're going to need that to put it back on. I unzipped mine to wash it, and I had to go find a YouTube video.
You need instructions to unzip your hood.
Yep.
It's getting it re-zipped. It sounds like it doesn't want to line up all that well for you, but yeah.
Well, one end has got the endings of the zipper, which won't come off, and then the other's got the 2 little brass guides, I guess you call it, and one of them's got a hook on it, and the other one's it's like you can't get that thing to go, to release at all.
Let's see, if you're wearing it and you go all the way around from the right side to the left, it's going to lock in. You have to go the opposite direction and bring it all to the right to get it off.
You know how you can fix that, right? Velcro. Just a Velcro hood that you can just pull on and pull off.
Lee.
Hey, trust me, in the military, they use Velcro for everything.
Yep.
I mean, the pockets, everything's Velcroed. Why can't you have a removable Velcro hood?
Military doesn't have to deal with bees, Bob.
I mean, it's not hard to figure out.
So
I mean, they overcomplicated everything.
When I go to wash my suit, I use the biggest bucket that I've got and just put some detergent in there and I hand wash the thing. I don't bother trying to take it all apart because, quite frankly, that zipper, it's just me, Velcro or not, but that's just what I do. And then I hang the thing up outside after rinsing it really well. It's so damn simple. Hand wash your suits if you got a problem with it.
The way I do mine, I put it in the bathtub. I put draw warm water up in it, and then I sprinkle OxyClean over it and mix it.
There you go.
And let it set for about 45 minutes with OxyClean.
Bob owns stock in Velcro.
I need to. It just doesn't make sense. It's like they overcomplicate some things, right? Like the crazy zippers going all the way around.
Yeah.
Just cut it to where it needs to fit with a Velcro patch that you can just rip the whole hood off if you want to and put it right back on. Done deal. Easy peasy. Yeah, I am arguing that the military makes good decisions. That is true.
Hey, Bob, everybody in here is going to buy Velcro and mail it to you.
YouTube.
I don't believe it.
I wonder, that's not Dustin or Jack, is it?
I don't know.
Two vets that came over here on Sunday. Say they would, in case they're listening, I got to tell you something really screwy that happened with me. We're going through a hive, and we find this queen, and no problem. I'm gonna put the capture cage down on her. I'm just showing how to use the cage, and rather than just pick her up. And I put the cage down and try to get her in the cage. Well, I had the doggone thing upside down, so there's no way to like seal the bottom off of the thing, and the guys are just rolling on the ground. You have to see the thing to get it, but
I watched the video.
Oh,
the inverted queen video, right?
Yeah.
See, you should have done the clip with from Top
guys,
Gun
I can only
1,
hear
right?
Mike, so I'm gonna try and reload or something.
Okay. It should have been a they should have did the whole Top Gun when I was doing a negative 4G inverted roll. That's impossible. See, you can tell I don't get out often. So
no, but by the way, that was a good movie. Yeah. So no, I've kind of just fallen over to, now I'm just picking them up, but we just have a cage and they're not used to using them and whatnot. And by the way, I had an interesting conversation with Troy about picking up queens, and he says he doesn't like to mark them and pick them up and mark them because he was hanging on to one once and she just kind of curled up in a ball.
Right.
And he put her down in the on the frame, and then all of a sudden she came around. And I don't know if you guys have ever seen that before, but if you squeeze the queen hard enough, she can't breathe, and so she passes out.
Bob's good at that.
I did it.
They can't breathe without a head either.
Oh, that's just a rumor started by somebody. I don't know.
You guys, I didn't film it, so you won't believe it. But
sorry, Bob, I just say it.
I went through all my two framers, and if I found the queen, I grabbed her, dotted her, and put her back down. Except for one. One was pretty fast, so I couldn't catch her.
So here's a question for you guys, the audience. I can't hear you, Sarah. Okay.
Yeah, her sound's not working. Sarah's sound's not playing.
Have any of you tried a new marker that Cayman Reynolds and Bob Binney are using? It's an American-made enamel marker and supposed to stay on longer. What's that called, by the way?
Just a paint marker.
Competitive Advantage, MPD 15.
Mr.
Gadget, they're a hell of a lot cheaper than the stuff that you buy from the supply places, from what I remember.
Let me get the right color for this year. Yellow. Yeah, they say it's supposed to stay on a lot longer. Even outdoor use is supposed to last like 6 years. So with it being in the hive, I think it should last a queen's life.
Wait, that'd be wonderful.
I saw somebody say they were using colored Sharpies.
Yeah.
But I don't know how long it'll stay on. But
and I think, if I remember right, and I might not, Mike Palmer, I think, is using he would just use like model enamel.
Can you hear me now?
Yep. Can hear you now, Sarah.
Well, now my earbud isn't working. Is there feedback?
No, you're fine.
No, we're good. We're good.
Okay.
So I got a question for Tobias here. How the hell did you end up getting dragged into beekeeping? What made you do that?
Curiosity. 100% curiosity. I don't know. But I'd say 2 years ago, I just started watching it on YouTube, and I said, you know what? I want to keep bees. Just did it.
Well, that's grand. It's what a wonderful thing. So where did you get your hive equipment from?
Amazon. I bought the cheapest boxes I could.
Hey,
I bought 2 deeps, 2 mediums, a bottom board, a lid, or not a lid, an inner cover, and the lid for I think it was $180.
Wow.
All frames included too. Foundation, whole 9 yards.
Holy smokes!
About 2 of them.
Hey, for that price, that sounds pretty doggone good there.
Hey,
What did you do for mite treatments last fall?
I didn't do anything last year, and I lost my bees in the winter. I lost it to moisture though, not the varroa mite. But this year I have oxalic acid and apivar. I'm gonna do oxalic acid during the hot months, and then apivar later.
Okay, Tobias, I would not assume for 1 second that they died of moisture. I really wouldn't. I've actually had hives that's like literally flowing out, dripping in, and ice sealed in the front. Odds are it was the mites that got it. And the only time you'll ever have a problem with moisture in a hive is if it's a weak hive. And when they get the mites, the bees can't form a good brood ball, and so they don't stay quite as warm. So, and as far as apivar is concerned, you got to be careful with that stuff because the quality control is so inconsistent. It'll work in one batch and not at all in another one.
Oh, okay.
So there's a watchword for you there.
I use the oxalic acid vapor.
Yeah, I got that too.
Yeah. So this year, I'm going to be doing something a little bit different. It's still cool enough to do it here. I'm going to be doing the formic pads, but 1 pad at a time for 2 weeks, and that's the way it's not quite as hard.
You don't want to do that.
What's that?
You don't want to do that because you're not going to get enough acid concentration in order to penetrate the cap.
And that's why I do it like, and we've got a couple of folks in Iowa that are doing the same thing, Charlie. It just what they do is you put down 1 pad, 2 weeks, and then you take it off and you pull another pad right in away. That way you're taking care of the hatching brood. And you're not worried about it penetrating. Just when it uncaps, that's when you're getting it. It's probably not as good as just doing the double pad like you're talking about. That way, if for the rest of you that don't know this, the formic is really, really strong. You end up basically ventilating your hive a bit. But when you have 2 pads in there, it's strong enough to actually get through the wax cappings. But you end up with a lot of bee drop. It's pretty harsh on the hives. And dear Lord, whatever you do, don't use it during the heat.
Anything above 84.
Yeah, you got to pay attention to what your forecast is going to be, like for 3-4 weeks out. So just a little watchword there. But
the biggest thing I found is humidity. If you can get 4 to 5 days with low humidity, let's say 80 degrees, I wouldn't take it 85. I'd go 80 or less.
Yeah.
Then it's not so bad. If you get a high humid, miserable day, I would not put it on.
Okay. I had not heard the part about humidity, so thank you very much.
Well, that's what I've observed. Like last September around Labor Day, we got a 5-day period that was it was like, I don't know, like a nice cool fall day. I mean, it was not cold, but there was no humidity. And that's unusual for us. And I put the pads on, and it worked out great.
All right, guys, I'm going to have to intercede here because we got to do the giveaway.
Please.
All right, so this is the 5th of 5 gift pack giveaway. I know a lot of people are hanging out to hear that. We're running about 30 minutes behind when we normally do it. So Tobias got his fingers crossed, ready to go. We got the wood pulp swarm trap, 2-ounce swarm commander, honeybee gone, or 16-ounce honeybee gone, a 16-ounce feeding supplement from Blythewood Bee Company. And
wow.
Yep, last of the prize packs, and then we're moving to some top hive feeders. So Lee, take it away with the wheel spin. So, man, we got so many people in here, can't hardly see who wins. Dennis Barney, congratulations.
One away.
Dennis Barney.
That was the good one above.
So Dennis, send me an email over to rwalker2016. I'll just put it in the comments.
Can I add something on the treatment? I forgot. I'm using peppermint too. According to Earl, that'll help with the varroa.
No. Oh dear Lord, not for Varroa, for high beetles, and you do not have high beetles in Michigan.
Yeah, I don't. I've never seen one.
Yeah.
The
that's your email address.
That's my email address.
Hey, Tobias, is your logo like a circle with a little pile of dirt with leaves coming out of it?
Yes.
Okay. You mind if I post a link to your channel?
Not at all. Not at all. Please do.
That way, I believe we've already posted everybody else's in here, and you knew, so I want to make sure to get you in there.
Thanks.
Give you some props. Some props.
Thank you, guys.
I keep hearing that bloom, the bloom sound.
Yeah, that was your buddy, Mr. Sam, posting a video.
Who?
Mr. Sam.
Mr. Sam posted a video?
Yep.
I thought that was only from.
He's doing a premiere in 30 minutes.
Oh, it's coming through your phone or whatever now.
Well, it's coming through the computer.
I got you. I was thinking that was just stuff that was happening on the StreamYard, like when somebody joins in.
Nah.
I got you. See, we're still ironing stuff out 2 months in.
Actually, almost 3. I think the 10th will be 3 months.
10th is 3 months?
Yep.
All right, so next week we are giving away there you go. Pop it up, Lee.
Since everybody's in here, I'm going to try to find the other picture where you can see it better.
Actually,
I know exactly what that is.
Blythewood Bee Company is giving it away through our channel. So there you go. Saracel feeder. You got to pick the size. So same rules. Thumbs up to afterwards. Well, you could thumbs up now. That would help us out. But thumbs up, and then you could you got to leave comments in the videos after we're done. So
on both channels.
On both
in the
channels.
Comments, not the stream.
In the comments, not the stream. There you go. See, you guys have been around all 5 weeks.
I think they've done pretty good this week. Let's see here. I'll bring this up.
Most people did do both channels, and if you come in right before the show and put it on there, it's not going to work because we've already fixed the thing. So
we've only had a couple this week that didn't.
Grammy.
What? What?
You got on Bob. Forgot to get mine. And Rick and Ben forgot to get on Bob's.
Oh man.
So.
Dang. I thought I got both of you.
Well, now you can try to win a top hive feeder. So
good luck shipping out to Northern Ireland.
It's coming from New Zealand. They're coming from New Zealand.
That's the other end of the world.
I know, right? So that's kind of the thing right now. Is there? He's got a couple of like 5 and 8 frames in, but the 10 frame he's waiting on a shipment to come in. So, but if you win it, you'll still get it just the same. It might take a little bit longer for it to come in, but we are going to be giving them away, so it'd be good. Lee, you're going to have to silence that, brother.
Yeah. I have to figure that one out because it's pulling everything in from the background.
Is it on
Tobias? I just looked at your channel there. You got some pretty doggone funny lead-ins there, like the tiger chasing a chicken, and then a U-Haul rental truck as the caption for moving a hive 10 feet.
You got to catch that eye.
That's a good sense of humor there. You're almost as good at Hale Hives. He's got some good one-liners, but that's bloody well good. Congratulations on that one.
Thank you.
Let me make sure I've got your channel. I always have. Nope. I will now, though. There you go. You just got another one. Do you remember what it was when you started?
65 before a couple days ago.
Yeah, it was 65 just a minute ago.
You're at 72. Well, it should be 73 when I refresh.
Wow.
75.
So, there's 51 people in here, man. We could, if we really wanted to, and we do, go over and click the link and sub to the channel, please. We appreciate it.
Like,
I mean, it's not like you guys are donating money or anything to the live stream like you do on Cayman Reynolds, but that's all good. Man, if I was Cayman, I would just do live streams
that guy,
2-3 times a week.
He's got a good community. He's got a good community.
Oh my God. And it's just like they just shoot money at him. I'm like, what in the hell is going on?
Well, that last one was Laura's birthday coming up, so they were.
Well, hell, it is my birthday today, and I ain't got jack shit. Just saying.
Whoa. I thought your birthday was on Sunday.
No, my birthday's right now, today.
Oh,
Happy birthday, Bob.
So thank you. That's what I'm saying.
Lee, put the banner up.
Sorry.
That's what I'm saying, though. I mean, it's like if it's not even Cayman's birthday. You know what I mean? It's not Cayman's birthday, but I don't get it. It's like, I know they were doing the little thing for the giveaway to the Hive Life conference, right? The little scholarship thing last week. But they made like $1,500 in like 2 hours. I was like, are you kidding me right now? Just people just mailing it in, baby. Send it in.
You know, the other thing that was going on is they were just trying to get his wife on there. And,
Phil, stop it. Thank you, but stop it. I was making a point.
Happy birthday, Bob.
Thank you, brother.
For you, Bob.
I'm gonna sign out now, guys.
Are you out?
It's 3:30 in the morning, and I'm.
Phil, somebody
Thanks,
somebody
Phil.
asked
Hi, Phil.
What's a warm day for you there, Phil?
65.
If it was
summer,
dry cut, it's simple, Bob. We don't have any money. Dry cut has a great sense of humor, man.
Tell Billy to go to hell.
Billy.
Billy.
Hell here in Michigan.
Oh man, that's absolutely wonderful. Well, get a good night's sleep there, buddy.
All the best, guys. Talk soon.
Texas Beekeepers like obviously it's not us donating to Cayman. No, I don't care if you that's not what my channel is about. I just don't understand how he does a live stream and answers a few questions from people. We have a stream full of people answering questions for people. You know what I mean? It's like 4 nights a week. It just is insane. And, I don't know his financial situation, obviously, but it's like he can't need the money when you've got an operation that size. It's not, good for him, man. That's all I'm saying. Good for him.
You'll get there, Bob. You'll get there.
It's just funny. It is a funny thing.
Man, that's click the like button. Yeah, there you go.
I just had no more super, so I had to make room. I got you.
Does anybody else had any more slime outs?
No, I haven't. Not that I'm aware of. Not that I'm aware of. I walk through. If there's bees coming out, I assume they're still alive.
Oh man.
Yeah, he's put in a few years. I get it. I get it.
Oh gosh, when did he start?
YouTube?
No, beekeeping.
I think when he was young.
Yeah, when he was young.
Like 14 or something like that?
Yeah, he was young.
Yeah, God bless him.
Oh, I'm not hating on Cayman. I mean, I like Cayman, but I just think it's funny how the psychology is different from one channel to another. Obviously he'll have 200 people watching at one time, right? So, or more. And he doesn't have to schedule them. He just has to hit the button and pop on, and 200 people jump over and start making it rain on him.
No.
It's all good. All good. It's not.
You started when he was 5 foot tall. Actually, that's fairly close, Tex. That's good.
Oh yeah, this is definitely not. Beekeeping is what I'm going to do in my retirement, but it's not why I retired. It's not why I'm not working. I'm not working for health reasons, not working just to beekeep. So,
speaking of health, one of the High for Heroes vets here on Sunday came up with and you guys have probably all thought of this. I hadn't. We were talking about bee lifts. I was thinking about Lee watching his back and me too. But he said, "Oh, why in the world don't they make a bee lift that fits onto the front end of a 4-wheeler?"
Mm-hmm.
And that way you can pick it up, and then the doggone thing's mobile, and you're not tearing up the yard and everything. You're not using the big equipment, and
like a front end loader.
Yeah, basically for a 4-wheeler. Thank you, dear. Absolutely. No, that's just grand.
Well, most of those 4-wheelers have a winch on them, right? A lot of them do. Yeah. So why couldn't you just make it as a winch attachment, right? So you just use it and it winches, and when it winches, it pulls it up.
Bloody well, marvelous.
And it would keep the expense down because you already have the winch.
Now we can need a fabricator.
Yeah. Some good aluminum welders. I mean,
I've tried to get my husband to build me one. He's a machinist, and he said they're cheaper to buy.
Yeah.
That's true. One-offs are very expensive.
And I brought up to him. I said, "Well, what happens when you're trying to lift up, like 200 pounds of supers?" He says, "Put a counterweight on the back."
Right.
I looked at that one that Mike Berry has. I've been considering that one, but I like to try it out first.
Well, what's the one he's using there, if you wouldn't mind?
Yeah, it's called the Hive Lifter. It looks like a front end loader. Sort of.
I'm gonna grab
you can actually, it's freestanding. It has a couple wheels on the back that, if you raise it up into the air, it'll hold the supers in the air while you're.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Is that the electric one or the manual one?
It's electric.
It's electric.
That's what I thought.
You don't want manual.
Yeah.
I have a friend of mine.
Cost a pretty penny.
Yeah, it's about $2,000.
Yep.
A friend of mine's got one that looks like a dolly, and he got the manual crank, and he said that was a mistake.
Yeah, I could see that getting old real quick, Charlie. But the ones you're talking about, they don't have the motorized wheels, right?
Yeah, that one don't have a motor. I've seen that on the internet over in Europe, where it'll actually it's like a dolly, but it'll drive itself. And it's like, why can't we have that kind of stuff in this country?
I don't know, but for anybody thriving entrepreneur out there, make one of these things to fit on the front end of a like a 4-wheeler, and for crying out loud, you got everything taken care of. Bob, you're pointing out using the winch, and that's a no-brainer. Bloody well fantastic.
Yeah, but I tell you, the best one would be if you could get yourself a used, what are they called, donkeys or something like that? Those stand behind 4-wheeler things that.
Oh yeah, we've got one. Except the
Kawasaki
on it. They're used by people with like pallets and.
Oh yeah, it's not a donkey. What is that called? We've got one of those things too. I guess I'm thinking of something else, Charlie. But we do have basically a stand behind forklift. Has a kind of a cool electric lift. So is his wheels motorized? Remember, Nathan's got motorized wheels.
Yeah, so it's I forget what they call them. But they're talking about Duck River Honey. That's the same exact one that I've been looking at, which also Mike Berry has.
Okay, those look like they're fantastic, but I just absolutely don't want to be pushing a stack of hives, though. I want to be able to hit a button and have the thing drive away.
Yeah.
That's just my being careful because I don't want to hurt myself. Dingo.
A dingo. That's good.
Thank you, Miss B. Dingo. Yeah, I just literally saw one of those things in one of the neighbors. They were, and you can put all sorts of interesting attachments to them. Or grasshopper. Huh. Okay. Interesting stuff. So you guys got such a great audience, and what we can't figure out, Lee does all the research on it, pops up in the library there.
I just pops it up. You're up to 80 subs, Tobias. 80 right now. We could get you to. We could probably push you to 100. We could probably push you to 100.
Now, Bruce says palletize it, but you still got to lift them honey supers off. And like I got, most of my hives have got either 3 honey supers. I've got one that's got 5, and I mean that I'm under supering, and that top box is like, man.
Hey, I know what'll fix your problem. You just pay me, and I'll come to Pennsylvania and lift all your honey supers off your colonies for you. And then you don't have to worry about it anymore. It's
you don't have to worry about maintenance and repairs.
It's fixed. Just
lunch.
One Bob solves it all.
Your teenage kid. Yeah, hire a teenage kid. Yeah, that's not a bad idea. Or we could just follow Tobias.
Well, I had a mentee, but every time, like he was supposed to come this past weekend, and then he's always got a problem.
Yeah.
Something always comes up, huh?
My Highs for a Hero mentee, he's tried to schedule 2 times. He didn't show up either time, and I haven't heard from him since. So...
Well, I got this guy. He was going to work for me for bees in a box. I said, fine. And there was always some other thing, family or whatever. But
well, that's typical, right? Oh, they want to do that, but they want to do that on their schedule, which
they don't work that way in bees.
Nah, it don't work that way at all.
Schedule.
Yeah,
don't work.
Well, my best friend's daughter is also my receptionist. And she wants to learn how to work bees, but she doesn't want the commitment to get her own bees. And she's been coming over and helping me, which has been great.
Yeah.
Yes, it is.
That's the perfect person to
That's
work
really
in your
good.
I don't really want bees, but I like working bees, so I'll come over and help you out. Absolutely.
Yep.
Hey,
Bruce's bees or Bruce's bees can get one Lisa to come over and help him extract honey.
I don't know how much help I was, though. I'm older and bigger and clumsier.
Now, Morgan says, Morgan Smith, about why do you have so many supers?
Making honey.
I'm making honey. I'm doing single hive brood chamber management. And, here in Maryland, they don't cap until about July. And as soon as that super, I have drawn combs. So as soon as that thing is nectar full, I've got another box on there.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't have a hot room, and I don't go through that dehumidification thing too often. I've had to do it 1 year because of the high humidity. But I don't want to take the chance of my stuff turning on me.
That was my problem last year. All the rain we had and the humidity down here, it took forever for them to cap it.
Yeah, I had some years where they might have capped half of it, and it was high humidity like that, and I took a table and I draped clear plastic over top of it down to the floor in the basement, put the supers up on their edges. I put a fan at one end and a dehumidification unit at the other. And I dried my honey that way to get it down to where it wasn't going to go bad.
Yeah, and there's another side of the coin, too. I don't necessarily deal with that quite as much as Charlie or Lee for bad last year.
I deal with it very often. It's just that one time it was a pain.
Yeah, so I'll leave a bunch of supers on mine just because I can. And I only like to run the extraction line, once. So if you got enough comb, if you have enough boxes, so basically it's almost storing it too. That's just me.
Well, the bees keep it at the right moisture and temperature, right?
Yeah, pretty much. But even then, when I do take them off, I stack them in the laundry room in an offset pattern and close it up, put the dehumidifier and a fan in there to try and reduce it even more. But that's just my idiosyncrasy. But yeah, so there's a bunch of reasons that you leave a bunch of supers on. But that was actually a pretty good question. Why do you have so many supers on? Okay. You know,
I got 10 hives. I got 34 supers on right now.
Okay.
I think that's what it is, 32, 34.
A lot of boxes.
I don't have that many supers on mine, but with the I don't think I have 30 on. I might have 30 on. I don't know. I haven't counted them really.
I own 4.
Tobias, don't feel bad. I think I have 7.
No.
How much honey are y'all hoping to pull in this year?
Say again, Lee?
How much honey are y'all hoping to pull in this year?
Who?
I got
all of y'all.
Lisa?
I got 20 gallons last year, so a little more than that. Or not 20 gallons, I'm sorry. 5 gallons. I was hoping
But once they get the wax drawn off, Tobias, once they get that comb drawn off, you'll see a lot more this year. How about you, Lisa?
Oh, my supers are full. It's just they're not all capped. I'm going out this weekend probably to finish harvesting. I'm hoping to get around 200 pounds. I already pulled 32 pounds. Mm-hmm.
So is it capping where we're at?
And they should be completely capped. They were about 50% when I went in 2 weeks ago. I didn't get in them this past weekend. I was busy doing the chicken thing this past weekend.
Is that
I guess what I'm saying is tell people, if the super is full of nectar, or let's say 80% full, I'm putting another super on. I don't want them to stop.
Yeah, and then the bees will actually move the uncapped stuff around too. So
I'm hoping for, I don't know, if I can get 1,000 pounds, it'll be nice.
Yeah.
Well, they still had a couple of frames. I think there was a couple of frames in some of the boxes that were still needing to be filled, but they were still dripping too, so I didn't want to pull them.
Oh man.
Yeah. But the 32 pounds that I pulled off, what was it? At the beginning of May, I put it on my refractometer and it was at 16. I was like, yes.
That's good.
Absolutely.
It's good.
Yeah,
Yes, it was perfect.
Come on, Joe.
If it's 16, it'll get after below that, it'll get hard to get out.
Yeah, no. I'm hoping it's not below that.
You'll be adding water back to it. No, just kidding.
I know. Maybe not.
I'm hoping for around 900 this year is what I'm hoping.
Oh my gosh.
I had a goal of 1,000, but I don't think I'm going to hit it this year. So we'll see.
I did. Now, last year was a good year for me. It didn't have the rain while the bloom was on, and I got like 1,100 pounds.
Jeez.
And I mean, that was exceptional for me because I started single hive brood chamber management, and it showed me that was the way to go. But this year, it's rain through the blooms and stuff, and we're
2,500.
I don't think I'll get that much. If I get 800 to 900 pounds, that'll be nice.
Okay.
Well,
on that note, guys, I gotta go. I only got 10% battery.
Okay.
Well, thanks
We
for
appreciate
Tobias.
you
Nice
coming
to
in,
meet you.
Tobias, for sure.
I'll stop it again.
All right, brother. Thank you. The I had coming out into the spring with 12 colonies. I only counted 12 as honey producers coming in. So I was hoping to get around 1,000 pounds. But I'm probably not going to get that because of the expansion that I've done. So we'll see. We'll see how it works out.
You just didn't have the workforce, right, Bob?
Yeah, well, my colonies, when I started making the early splits, right? So I was weakening my production colonies. Now, with that being said, I haven't had any swarms of my own.
Yeah.
So, so I guess that's good. But now it's kind of shifted. I've got some colonies that, they are making honey, but not as many as I thought I was going to have for, at the beginning of the year, because things have kind of changed in the middle of everything this year. Expansion.
Well, if you're expanding and you're pulling wax on your foundation frames in your hives, and that all, that takes a lot of honey to do that wax.
You're looking about 7 pounds of honey or nectar for 1 pound of wax.
Yeah,
and all of that. So you're, like you say, you're in a different mode right now. You're building up
Right.
And as far as the swarm thing, that's the thing I've learned with single hive brood chamber management is that if you go into them boxes and if you go in there with the one deep and there's 5 frames of carpet brood in there, you need to be pulling, I'll say, 3 of them frames out of that hive and put it over into either a weaker hive or make a split or something. Or do your demery.
Right. That that last demery I've got is blowed up. But
so, Charlie, forgive me here because I got a little lost here. So, in your single brood box management, you're only having like 5 frames of bees in there?
No, what I'm saying is when you go in there, the whole idea behind that is you're going to have one box. You should watch my part 2 of single hive brood chamber management.
Yeah, I haven't seen the part 2 of it. Thank you, Charlie.
The part 2 explains the mechanics behind this, but
hey, Morgan.
When you have the queen in one box, she lays that whole box up, so they cannot store any honey in that box.
Right.
You force that hive to push all that honey upstairs into the supers, and they will fill, if it's 10 frame, they'll fill all 10 frame, or they'll fill all 9 frame, whatever you're going to run. If it's, let's say, drawed wax. And as soon as they get to the point where it's 80, 90% full, I'm under supering. They say you don't have to, but I don't know, it just makes more sense to me.
No, the only thing that threw me is when you said something about 5 frames of bees.
Yeah, well, while you're doing this single brood chain management, you're going to go in there and you're going to look at the population. So let's say you've got a really strong population of bees, but you look at the brood frames, and I'm looking at the cap brood frames. So if I've got 5 frames of cap brood, then I'm going to take 3 of those frames out and leave 2 in there.
See, now I'm still lost here because when I shake all my bees down and put the queen excluder in, I mean, I'm having 8 to 9 frames of bees down on the bottom there. And then I'm throwing, then I've a regular deep on top that still has some brood in it. And then I'm stacking the honey supers on top of there. So what you were throwing me is you're talking about like having 5 frames in your bottom brood box. I'm
only having 1 brood box now, not 2.
Yeah, I know.
So you're managing the population. You want to keep her laying all the time.
Yeah.
If you have 5 frames of brood, they hatch out. You're looking about 12 to 15 frames worth of bees. Now, if you have a nectar flow going on, I would add a super to it and start letting them build up. But if your flow ain't started yet, that hive is going to overpopulate too fast. So you would pull a few frames of that brood out and put into a weaker hive or make a split until your flow starts.
So you're talking about 5 frames of bees before the nectar flow.
Actually doing the nectar flow too.
Yeah, you're just trying to keep that one brood chamber from getting too congested.
Right.
So you're always taking frames out to keep them at a regulated population.
See, I don't do that. I just let them. If they do wall-to-wall brood in that bottom box, I'm fine.
Right. But then when they start hatching out, they're looking at swarming.
You have to time it according to the nectar flow. You want them as strong as possible, so you want them to peak like a couple weeks into the nectar flow. Well, and that's what I run into. So that's the part that was throwing me there.
Well, the way I've worked it this year, this is the first year I've done it because Charlie and Lee were doing it. I'm like, I'll try it. But what I started doing is just that. I'll go in. If they look like they're a little bit light or not full, I'll let them go, right? But if I go in there and there's a lot of cap brood, I'll take a frame out and drop it in one of my weak nukes or drop it into a 2-framer or drop it into a 10-framer and drop them an empty frame back in there so they'll get to work starting to draw that comb out and then keep it going. I mean, just to help keep their brood chamber consistent. But the Demeray, that has been a champ for building up bees if I let it go the way it's supposed to.
Now, I talked to the friends of mine up in Westchester, Pennsylvania, and I asked them, they are big on that up there. And it's like, now, I would do it this way. I would move the cat brood from the bottom of the hive. And then you have the single brood chamber. Then you'd have, let's say, 2 honey supers.
Yep.
Then you'd have another brood chamber on top, and move the cat brood to the top with the bees, keep the queen down in the bottom, let it hatch out, and they'll make the honey, and the population just keeps getting enormous from what they tell me.
So the bottom box, let's say it's full, right? You think they're going to swarm. It's full. Cat brood, pollen, nectar, whatever it is, you've got slammed down there where the queen doesn't have any room. So you take 1 frame of brood and the queen and put her in what will now be the new brood box with undrawn foundation, right? Then put the queen excluder on top of that. Then you're creating space with the 2 supers in between. And then you put a queen excluder on those 2 supers, and you take that original brood box that has all the stores, brood, nectar, bees, and everything onto the very top. You know, replace the 1 frame you took out, but put that right on the top. Now, the bees that are nurse bees will stay with that brood at the top. They're not going to leave the brood. The foragers and everything now have to go through all the supers down through the excluders to get out. And they'll realize real quick when the foragers start coming back in, we don't have anywhere to store. So they start drawing that comb out in the bottom. And because they're drawing new comb, that queen is ready to lay, right? As soon as that comb comes up, she's ready to lay. She's going to start dropping eggs. Well, if she's putting eggs in them, they can't put nectar in it. They can't put pollen in it, right? She just lays it out. And if you do it correctly, you go in once a week, check the top brood box, and get rid of all the queen cups, all the queen cells, and let all that brood hatch out. This last one I did had 9 frames of brood, cat brood in the top. And I took 1 frame and put it down the bottom, which left me 8 at top. And, you know, they just exploded. You just got to make sure you get all the queen cups out of there, because if you don't, you're running a risk of...
now, you're putting eggs up top, too?
Yeah, everything's going up top except for 1 frame with the queen in the bottom and blanks.
Now, see, I wouldn't do it that way. I mean, that's what they were discussing up here in Pennsylvania, where they were leaving the cat brood at the bottom and putting the eggs and stuff upstairs. And I'm like, well, if you only put the cat brood upstairs and leave her with eggs and open frames to lay up, then you won't have them swarm cell problems. If you don't want, I don't want swarm cells. I'm going to make my own cells. I'm going to grab.
Right. Well, I get that, but I don't want those swarm cells either. That's why I go through and crush them and don't use them. It's just a method to let those bees hatch out where they're far enough away from that queen that, you're getting all of those worker bees plus all the new ones she's still laying in the bottom. I mean, there's a little brood break in there, but not too bad, Right. But, I guess there's, 10,000 ways to do things.
I just want, what I found with single brood chamber is that I doubled my honey production. They filled the honey boxes efficiently. And the last couple supers I put on, I actually did what Cayman did. I kept it 10 frame instead of 9. And I pulled 2 frames of drawn wax out, and I checkerboarded 2 frames of foundation, and so they would make me more frames of honey supers for me. And and do it that way. And because I'm selling honey, I'm selling bees, and I'm selling queens, and It just, I don't want them to swarm. And I haven't had any swarms. I've sold my nukes off, which then I've equalized and downsized these single brood chamber honey boxes. Now, I haven't done anything to their brood chamber for the last couple of weeks because I can see that the queen is starting to slow up, a fair amount.
Yeah, it's only going to be like 3 more weeks and we'll be at summer solstice, right?
Right, exactly. June the 20th. And then after that, it all, she's going backwards on land.
Hey, Dennis, make sure you email me, brother, so we can get that. He was the winner, right?
Yeah.
So make sure you email me. I'll drop the email one more time for you guys. I get enough spam mail. What's a little bit more?
Well, I'm going to say goodnight, guys.
All right, Lisa.
Well, we appreciate you.
Where are you located at?
Alabama.
Me?
Yeah.
I'm in Alabama.
Oh, okay.
Southeast. The hottest part of the state, I think.
Right now, I got a friend of mine. She has relatives down in Alabama. What's it, about 95 degrees down there?
It's 82 right now.
Okay.
And about 95% humidity.
Yeah, I told her, I said, I am not going down there in the middle of summer to see your relatives.
Yeah, it gets warm. Well, good night, everybody.
Good night. Thank you.
Take care.
But yeah, that's the the funny thing is what bugs. I don't know if I got a gripe. I guess when someone asks you a question, like how to do something, I don't mind them not doing it. I just try to take, it's like consideration of time, right? If I call you, Charlie, and I say, Charlie, how do you do this? And you tell me, then I try to follow the instructions of what you're saying, right? And it's showing up. But I get people that'll call me and they'll say, well, how do you do this demo-ray that you're talking about? And I go through the whole thing, 45 minutes, explaining exactly what to do, how to do it. And then they come back and they said, oh, I did that demo-ray you was talking about, but I didn't use the queen excluder. And I was like, well, then you didn't do a demo-ray. You did a checkerboard.
Yeah. No.
It's like,
yeah.
Then it's like, well, why didn't it work?
Well, that's what I have my thing with my videos that I put out is that I like to be very detailed, because if you miss a couple details in any type of technique, that technique will not work.
Right.
And that's why I make, very clear that you need to do this way or a certain way or whatever. And that kind of a thing, now, I mean, you do have to tweak it depending where you live at or when you're doing it and things like that.
Well, the whole queen excluder thing's pretty important to keep that queen in the bottom box. Otherwise, what's the point of even doing it?
You got to have it.
So yeah, that's kind of the thing. It's amazing,
Well, they want to. Like Lee has some hives that he doesn't use queen excluders on. Well, that's another style of beekeeping.
Yeah.
Right.
And the one that I used the excluders on last year was my comb honey. I had actually planned on putting excluders on all my hives this year because I had drawn comb. Last year they wouldn't want to go through them just to get plastic.
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
So I took the excluders off, and I had planned on putting them back on this year. Well, my first couple hives that I had to add supers to, I put an excluder on. They didn't want to go through it even to the drawn comb. So I just went ahead and removed the excluders.
Yeah, I mean, it's just a matter of like the demo ray. Even myself, like I did that demo ray on the first video, and you're like, well, Bob, there's just not, the numbers aren't in there. I don't know why you're doing it. That's because when I filmed that video, I had already done a demo ray, right? I'd done it once before I ever filmed the video. And it was 3 weeks later when I filmed the first video. Well, the first time I did it, I robbed all the queen cells and brood out the top. So just think of that brood break that she had no cat brood hatching out because I stole it all out of the top. And they had to make a new brood box and lay it up. So Yeah, so there was not enough bees in there when I did it the second time. I did it more for the video aspect of it, but this last one I did is definitely slam full.
Yeah, Daisy. Yep, I noticed just a couple little cells that had pollen in the honey supers, but not very many. And she did come up and lay a little bit of brood in the super, but it wasn't very much either. Mainly, she stayed in the bottom.
There you go. Dennis, it's gambercontainer.com. I've given that information out to lots of people. Everybody that I see that's bottling honey, like even Jason, Bohemia Bees. I was like, Gamber Container. They got it. Same bottle.
Yeah, he's not too far from my house.
So he sent me a nice little prize pack. I don't even want to use this because it's so nice. I don't want to mess it up. But it's so good to be in it's like pocket size, right? You just pull it out and pry everything open. It's a nice little tool.
Now, what treatments are y'all going to do, or any treatment at all, when y'all pull honey supers off? Y'all going to do oxalic?
Well, I'm using oxalic, and some of my weaker colonies have Apivar on them right now.
My treatment program is all right. We pull supers off here in Maryland in July, let's say the 4th of July. And then after that, I'm going to say in the latter, usually I do Apivar like the last 2 weeks of July all the way through August. And then last year I did Formic Pro in some of my hives for 2 weeks in September. That was when that weather was just right. And I did Apivar in my nukes at that same time until the middle of October. And then after that, November and December and February, I did oxalic acid vapor. This year, I'm going to try Apigard in the tub. I'm not sure just when I'm going to do it, whether I'm going to do part of that in one area and maybe do Apivar in my nukes or something. I'm not sure.
That's kind of how I do it. But I hit it a little bit hard in the fall. Like I do the once a week for 3 weeks after the flow. And then I've hit it once a month, all of them, until springtime with oxalic acid. And then this year I've put some Apivar strips in right now in my smaller colonies and nukes, ones that aren't going to produce any honey, and just letting them.
Well, I used to do oxalic acid for 6 to 6 weeks from late September through the month of October before the time change, because I would be doing it in the evenings after work. And of course, everybody's home too. You want to get everybody inside the box. But I lost a ton of nukes last year, and I think it was due to mites. And so you got Jennifer Berry out there talking about, you can do so many weeks worth like that, and you think you're going to get them as they're coming out, and really you don't. Her experiments showed that you might maintain the mite level. It won't go any higher, but if you got a mite level of 6, and it should be at 3 or less, it's going to keep it at 6, and those bees are going to die anyway. So I've switched over to where my oxalic acid is my winter treatment only. Right. And I treat through the winter, except for like January when it was really super cold up here. And February, for the most part this year, was cold except for the last week, and that's when I hit them the last time. And I monitor the mite drops when it's at that time of the year. And I'll do, it seems like to me when it comes to bee treatments, you almost have to, the months that you're not harvesting honey, the off months are the months that you're treating continuously in order to keep them alive, it seems like.
Right.
See, after I pull my supers off, hopefully first, second week of July, everything will be pulled off.
Right.
I'll do OA vapor every 5 days for 25 days. So 5 treatments in a row in July, possibly into August, depending if everything's off at the 1st of July.
What are you going to do September, October, November? I mean, you don't have a winter there.
I'll come back probably mid to the end of September and do 5 more treatments like that. And then possibly end of November, beginning of December. I'll do the same thing. But I do mine every 5 days for 25 days. That way,
thanks, Rhonda.
I can get almost 2 full treatments before they cap any new brood.
You know, it just kind of depends on what what works for you. But
yeah,
I watched Bob Benny's video on the ApriGuard and how he explained how to use it and how you can, if you get the tub, you can monitor the dosage depending on how hot it is and how big the box is and all that, which I like. So I'm going to try a tub of that. I'm going to do some Formic Pro, and I'm going to do some ApriGuard, depending on what hives I've got to work with.
Yeah, I don't use. I won't use Formic Pro here just because of the temperature.
Oh yeah, I mean, I'm talking. When I did it in September last year, it was 80 degrees and low humidity, and I think the humidity, even though they don't talk about it in the instructions, I think it has a big determination on how it affects your hives and all.
Right.
And I think, if you think about working your bees, around here, when it's hot and humid, the bees don't like to be messed with. And I think I feel like their attitudes are just like humans. They don't like to be messed with as hot and humid, unless it's just a nice hot day.
Right.
Well,
they got plenty of nice hot days. Mine are kind of aggravated today. So
yeah.
Well, actually, they've been really aggravated since I went in the colony yesterday and did an inspection. They haven't. Now, if I even come out in the yard, I've got one in my face. It doesn't matter. But I did put out dry pollen sub in my tube feeder. They're hitting that right now. Not hard, but there are bees on it. So it must be a little bit of a dearth going on with the pollen.
I may have to put some sub out tomorrow to see if they hit on it here. But as far as nectar, we still got tallow coming in pretty good here.
Well, ours is slowing off. So
I'm hoping I can check this weekend. If everything's still good, I'm going to try one more round of supers going on, and that'll probably be it for the year.
Yeah, up here, I don't know. I'll have to check Saturday, and I can see that the locust blooms have gone. I would say by this coming weekend, the poplar blooms are going to be gone. That's our 2 main flows, and things have been kind of diminishing here the last week or so because of rainy weather and stuff. I don't think I'm going to have to put any more supers on. I'm not sure about that, but
yeah, I don't think I'm going to have to.
DC, how much did you pay for that Speedy vaporizer?
Speedy Vap? That's the one I was telling everybody about. It's like $195 and comes with 3 caps, and they ship it anywhere in the United States for $18. I think that's the one.
Yeah, so it's kind of in the same range as the
No, the Robbie's is like $300 now.
Is it really?
Yeah.
Holy Toledo. Okay, yeah, I got mine at a good price.
Well, this one actually has like a pistol grip on it. It's really nice. It's nicely manufactured.
They're very nice, DC.
That's the one that we put on here. I'm about 20 miles out of Myrtle Beach. Man, what are you talking about? Are you going to Myrtle Beach? You don't live in South Carolina. See, people come into my state and don't tell me. So that could have been a potential like meet and greet. What can you do? It's only a couple hours away. I need to go to the beach. My wife needs to go to the beach. We need seafood.
So Charlie, I'm gonna follow Bob Binney's routine there too, and I'm buying the tub, and and I'm gonna go that route.
I'm gonna try it. It looks, I'll say easy, And he was talking about what is it? Cayman also was. He liked Cayman's idea where you do it every week instead of every 2 weeks, but you cut your dosage down to like 30 milligrams, 35 milligrams instead of 50 or 60.
Yeah, I was in that ballpark. Yeah, okay.
And I'll have to review the film, but and actually I said something to Bob, and he come right back, and I said, what about using it on 10 frame and a nuke? He said, yeah, it'd be the same as a single deep in frame wise, and just put 35 milligrams or whatever it was. I think he told it on there. And I don't know. I mean, I like it where, like you say, I like the idea where if you do it every week, you got that long duration of treatment.
Yeah.
And then he also, in that one video, he had little to no mites.
Yeah, it was that was really pretty crazy. But I also checked out their method of throwing oxalic, and you see that oxalic thrower that they had. It was like a power vent critter on a long.
Oh yeah, that bazooka thing or whatever it was.
Holy Toledo! And I ran into an old video where Ian Stethler was using something similar like that, and his one comment was, "Yeah, no, it just kills the crap out of the bees, out of the mites." So that's, I don't know. I thought that was really.
A friend of mine, they just come at, that one that Bob was running. He had some kind of a thing there where he jabbed a wire down in there to get it from unchoking and all.
Yeah.
And the manufacturer must have fixed that because they were at Hive Life, sort of the same thing, but they modified it quite a bit. And a friend of mine bought one and all, but that's sort of like, you don't have to bend over. You just go to the front of the hive and blow it and you're done.
Yeah, that's just, and it's something else that I like about that, Charlie. It's just we've used the regular oxalic acid sublimation systems. It relies on the pressure of the oxalic to distribute, and this thing's got a power blower on it. So it's forcing it in every nook and cranny. And I kind of have but wonder the volume, just because of the amount of smoke I'm getting out of there. If he's actually treating those things with somewhere between 3 and 4 grams of super, but even if it's half that.
Yeah, well, that reminds me, the guy from Provap has got that unit you're talking about.
Yeah,
and they have a stainless steel capsule, I'll call it. You jam the stuff in there, which meters out the product, and then you drop that thing down in the tube, and it releases it. So how much you're giving them, and then you turn that unit back upside down and drops back out of the tube. Now I bought the new metering device. I don't think most people have seen it.
Oh, yeah.
The one that's got the cap with a hole in the center.
Yeah.
And it's kind of like a stainless steel syringe.
Yeah, I was talking to Rob at Robbie about coming out with something like that.
Yeah, I'll tell you, I bought that, and I really liked that a lot.
Oh, tell me about it. That just looks sweet.
And I actually adjusted it up where I sat there with my little hive or scale that I use for honey, and I dippered out what I normally, fill up that cap, and I dumped it on a piece of plastic, on top of my scale.
Yeah.
And then
you dial it in.
And then I did that with that other thing and dialed it in. And it's a little more than what they recommend, but it works.
Yeah. And as far as the Apogard or whatever, you're wanting to do like a long, slow, steady treatment. That's basically why I'm doing the single pad of formic and then doing one afterwards, so they get a long, steady treatment on it.
Mm-hmm.
But Back to that doggone blower, though. The power blower, forcing that stuff into every nook and cranny. I'm thinking that might actually be something else that's going on there. Robbie works a lot better than a battery and a what? A wand?
A wand.
Yeah, the wand. That's
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Anything works better than that.
Yeah.
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 Yeah, I mean, it's just like, they talk about like the old fat bee man using the gas-powered pest blower or whatever it was.
Oh, the fogger? Yeah.
Yeah, the fogger. And I'm like, there's plenty of quality things like Larabi and that's relatively affordable, and that really works,
Yeah, yeah. Hey, William, yeah, the bees will circulate it, but this forces the whole issue before the even bees start blowing it around. So that's just the difference there. Somebody else had something about Jennifer Berry and playing catch up with Randy Oliver. God bless Randy, but he took his liquid oxalic acid on the shop towels or whatever, and they tried to do the same thing with I forget how many hives it was that Bob Binney had, but because they're thinking it was because of humidity, but it killed a whole shitload of his hives. So one thing about
Barry, she's doing shop towels. Well, Randy's not doing shop towels anymore.
No, when he was.
He was.
Yeah.
I mean, now he's on to the sponge thing, and I have some friends around that have tried that, and they like it. Now it's not a thing to use if you're overloaded with mites. It's more of a maintenance type of thing. That you're at 3% infestation, and that's it'll take 2 months or so for them things to work. They tell me.
See,
now one little experiment I seen that I was hoping would work. I don't know if y'all ever watched Steve-O or whatever down in Florida. Steve's Outdoor World. Anyway, he was taking sheetrock tape and cutting it kind of like an Apivar strip. He was cutting it and soaking it in like oxalic acid and glycerin and putting that into his hive. And I don't think he was having too much success with it, though. I was hoping that was something that would work pretty decent.
Yeah, but I guess what I was going to bring the whole thing around about that what Randy Oliver was doing out in California, and they just directly transferred over to it, ended up killing a bunch of Bob's bees. And we're talking about using, like Apigard or Formic or whatever. I guess my point I'm getting at is that regionally, it makes one hell of a difference as far as what your temperature and humidity is. And, God help you if you use Formic when it's 95 degrees out. You're just going to die off in an Apigard too. And as far as using oxalic acid, I love my vaporizers and whatnot, and I go pretty heavy. But I also found out accidentally that if you hit the bees really hard with multiple treatments in the fall in Minnesota, it shuts down the doggone queen and she stops laying the winter bees. And I lost a bunch of hives like that. So, and I'm really dependent on the winter bees here, with the additional body fat. So I backed into a buzzsaw on that one, and nobody's ever talked about that. Again, that's like a climate situation there that I was dealing with. So,
about to say further north, y'all probably have to have a lot bigger population for the winter to regulate the hive temperature.
Yeah, and that gets back to what are you doing for insulation and all that kind of stuff too? Because you can super insulate your hive, and I've done that, and I mean it was just insane. I had so many bees coming out in the spring that it was frightening, but it's costly. So, so you got that wrap thing going on there.
What Apivar strips are 6 to 8 weeks, 4 to 6 weeks, something like that. 4 to 6 weeks.
6 weeks.
6 weeks.
6 weeks, 42 days.
Yeah, but again, and I'll just keep saying it, if you use Apivar, dear Lord, do a mite wash afterwards. Make sure you didn't get a shit batch of Apivar that just didn't work. So you've got beekeepers in Manitoba that lost 60 to 80% of their hives. And it was a perfect storm of a bunch of stuff. Ian Stepler talked about that. And I forget who the hell it was that was, I'm sorry, I'm pretty pissed off about this French product. Anyways, they found out that testing random packets of the stuff coming out of the factory, some of it had a full dose on it and some of it barely had any. It's a quality control issue with Apivar. It's not the product. It's not you guys using it. It's not me using it. It's from the factory. And there's a major problem with their quality control. So, God bless you. If you can use Apivar and it works, hell, I'd rather do that than anything else. And then, do the Exolic in the spring and the fall. But, climate, and mite washes and, cover our butts, I guess. So that's the end of my rant. Thank you very much for not throwing things at me.
We got, actually, we're going to have to wrap it up for tonight, guys. 2.5 hours. Lee's got to work in the morning and, I don't, but, but it is what it is right now. But, anyway, guys, I appreciate all the birthday wishes. Remember to go to both channels and leave comments and thumbs up to get entered to win a Saracel Top Hive feeder. And I guess we'll see you on the next show, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. What are you going to do? What did you do to celebrate your birthday, Bob?
I got on this live stream with you fine people.
You're such a great man. Well, if we could throw beer and birthday cake and candles at you, we'd be doing it.
Yeah, we've got a cake in there. I'm not a big sweet eater, but I got one. My daughter brought it over on lunchtime from her work, and all my kids have contacted me, so it's
wonderful.
Good times.
Well, thank you all. Thanks for having us on.
Yeah, good to see y'all.
All right, thank you guys, and we'll see y'all next show.
Yeah.
Bye. See ya.
Good night, everyone.
Good night.
Good night.